There's a lot to discuss after a busy weekend on the recruiting trail and in the portal for the Red Raiders. In today's video, we'll give updates on 3 major portal targets for the Red Raiders and a 4-star 2024 point guard and where the Red Raiders stand on all 4 of their recruitments. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And by now, I know that y'all are tuning into these videos religiously because a lot of people have sent me DMs, comments, whatever it may be. I really appreciate it. And all I ask you to do is 3 things for me before we jump into today's video. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell if you want to keep seeing these videos in your feed and giving you daily 100% free updates on everything Texas Tech men's basketball. Again, just like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. All right, let's jump right into this. And I mentioned there's a high school player involved in this. That's where we will begin. His name is Christian Anderson Jr. from Oak Hill Academy. We've discussed him here on the channel a few times. He is a 6'1", 165-pound point guard. As I mentioned, went to Oak Hill Academy. He is a 4-star ranked as a top 120 player, according to 247 Sports, actually the 116th best player in the class of 2024, and a top 10 overall point guard in the class, according to their rankings. Now, he was committed to Michigan, obviously got out of his NLI there up in Ann Arbor after Juwan Howard got fired. I think as it stands right now, Texas Tech is in a really good spot to potentially land Christian Anderson Jr. And he's a guy, in my opinion, that as a true freshman can come in and be your secondary primary ball handler. So coming off the bench and relieving Elijah Hawkins when need be. I think he can play off the ball as well. Overall, I think this would be a tremendous pickup for the Red Raiders and a guy that not only fills a need on the 2024-2025 roster, but I also think he can be your starting point guard after Elijah Hawkins runs out of eligibility next year. And it's a seamless plug and play where Christian Anderson Jr. is your starting guard in the 2025-2026 season for the Red Raiders. He's uber talented. He reminds me of Trey Burke. And from everything we are hearing around his recruitment, which is kind of quiet, but the crumbs that we're picking up or maybe the smoke that we're seeing, it sounds like Texas Tech is in a really good spot to potentially land him. I mean, shoot, Trilly Donovan, funny name, really good source when it comes to basketball and, well, everything college basketball, not just, coaching or recruiting or anything like that, everything. He has a crystal ball projection of Christian Anderson Jr. going to the 806. So Texas Tech seems to be in a really good spot with him. And in my opinion, it would be a phenomenal pickup and one that actually helps in multiple ways on multiple potential years going forward for the Red Raiders. All right, let's jump into the portal now and discuss Jordan Riley from Temple, 6'4", 200 pounds, averaged about 12 points per game last year for the Owls up there in Philadelphia, 6 rebounds, 1.1 assists, but only shot 25.6% from 3. Not very good, but he is uber athletic, and his shot is getting better year after year in the college ranks. Now, he started his career at Georgetown out there in D.C., transferred up to Temple in Philadelphia, and is now in the portal again. And as it stands right now, it sounds like Texas Tech is in a pretty good spot. In fact, there's been some smoke that there was a secret visitor on campus, and a lot of it is pointing towards Jordan Riley. And as it stands right now, it would not shock me at all if he ends up in the scarlet and black. But as we know in the portal, things change in the blink of an eye. Right now, there's a solid chance. I'm not going to put a percentage on it, but it would not shock me is what I should say in terms of him potentially wearing the scarlet and black next year in year number 2 of Grant McCasland. He's a strong athletic guard that can come off the bench and really be your second primary ball handler if need be, and also play a multitude of positions out on the outside, whether that's the 3, the 2, could even play the 4 if you need to with his athleticism. And he's really solid in the pick and roll. You just want to see that shot get better. But as it stands right now, again, Texas Tech is in a really, really good place to potentially land the Temple transfer guard in Jordan Riley. All right, let's get to arguably the 2 biggest names in the portal that I think everybody in the Texas Tech space wants to know seemingly every second of the day. What's the update? What's the update? Well, we're going to start with Jaylen Wells from Washington State. We'll discuss the other name here in just a minute. For those that don't know, Jaylen Wells is 6'8", 205. He averaged almost 13 points per game last year as a sophomore for the Cougars up in Pullman, almost 5 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists, and shot a staggering 41.7% from three on almost 5 attempts per game. Now, again, he's a lights-out shooter. He was going through the NBA draft process, and the combine was actually up in Chicago with the name we'll talk about here in just a second. He's a Sacramento, California native. Why is that such a big deal? Well, Texas Tech's best player is from Sacramento, California, in Darion Williams. Darion Williams and Jaylen Wells are very good friends. They actually played AAU basketball together. Now, D5 isn't the only guy that Jaylen Wells is close to. He's also close to Chance McMillan as well. There is a solid chance in terms of Texas Tech being firmly in the mix in his recruitment. And Jacob Harris over on Scarlet and Black Insider, and real quick, by the way, if you're not on scarletandblackinsider.com, the link will be down in the description and in the comments below. Come join the fastest growing community of Texas Tech fans on the internet over on the Scarlet and Black Insider. Jacob Harris for SBI is reporting that Wells would like to be at Texas Tech, according to sources. What does that mean in terms of would like to be? Who knows? I mean, if somebody else throws a bag at you, things change, right? That's how the portal works. But Texas Tech has a lot of ties to him and obviously need a guy in terms of his skill set. So when you ask me in terms of everything going on with Jaylen Wells, as I put that back there on the screen for you below in terms of some of his measurables and the stats that he had, I think there's a real possibility that he could end up at Tech. Now, the next guy that we're going to talk about is interesting because I don't know if you can get both. I don't know if that's in the realm of possibilities. Do I think it's, a non-zero chance? Sure. I don't think it's zero by any stretch of the imagination that you can get both. But he's a guy worth talking about and monitoring because I truly believe Jaylen Wells has the potential to be an all Big 12 type player the moment he steps foot on campus. Whatever conference he goes to, I think he's an all-conference type player and a guy that really elevates your program. He's that much of a difference maker, and Texas Tech is firmly in the mix to potentially land him if he does decide to come back to the college route. And all indications right now, that's a key phrase right there, right now, point to him coming back to college. Now, everything can change if he gets a promise, but again, all signs as of right now at the time of this recording, which is late May 19th. This video is coming out on Monday morning, the May 20th. That's where things stand right now with Jaylen Wells. All right, obviously the biggest name in the Texas Tech portal space right now is JT Toppin. 6'9", 210, New Mexico transfer, averaged 12.4 points per game, 9.1 rebounds, and 26 minutes per game as a true freshman, and was the 2023-2024 All Freshman of the Year and made the All Mountain West second team. He led the Mountain West in field goal percentage, rebounds, offensive rebounds per game, and blocks per game. He is a Dallas, Texas native, and he has high connections to the Texas Tech program. We've talked about him here on the channel before. He knows Buff, and then his best friend and guy that he works out what seems like religiously, if you look at social media, is Jazz Henderson Jr. It's rumored to be down to Texas and Texas Tech when it comes to JT Toppin. And a couple of sources told me, and I reported this over on SBI a couple of days ago, about the Toppin, recruitment. Where is it right now? This is what I was told. Tech offered more money. That source did not give me a number on what the actual dollar amount was, but Texas views Toppin as a priority and must-have player. It's going to be a bidding war between the Red Raiders and the Longhorns. Another source told me coin flip, but Texas Tech has made up sizable ground. Expect the bidding war and Tech to be aggressive. They will be firmly in the mix until the end of his recruitment. Listen, it wouldn't shock me at all if the information that I put out there, and I know some people on other sites have, made fun of me for that in terms of my crystal ball prediction for JT Toppin to be a Red Raider. I still stand by that, and I think Texas Tech is firmly in the mix to do that. Now, can things change? Sure, we saw the roller coaster that his recruitment is, but don't get it twisted, and do not listen to anybody that's about to tell you anything differently from this. Texas Tech is in the mix to land JT Toppin, okay? That is the truth. And now, will they land him? Maybe not, but they're going to be firmly in the mix till the bitter end, and it's going to be an absolute battle between the Longhorns and the Red Raiders to land his services. And I really think that there's a lot of work to do because the portal never stops on a recruitment until you get them on campus and you have that first game in the jersey almost damn near in modern basketball. But JT Toppin and the Red Raiders are heavily linked, and I think there's mutual interest there from both parties involved, and it would not shock me at all if JT Toppin wears the scarlet and black next year out in the 806. All right, we're going to stop there because, I feel like that was a lot of good information for you guys. It was a busy weekend. I know some of that was rumors, but there was quite a bit of news in there as well. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech men's basketball all year long right here on the largest and most interactive Texas Tech YouTube channel. Of course, I'm talking about the Back to 12 podcast channel.